Dear students, I am going to explain today very important part of osmotic pressure and osmosis, and it is nothing but it is the applications of osmosis and osmotic pressure. So children, there are many applications in our daily life, industrial life, in many fields, in even animals and plants. So see how. So first very important part is in reverse osmosis. In reverse osmosis, or simply we say RO plant, what happens? Actually, the RO plant is designed in such a manner that by applying the mechanical pressure using the motor of the RO machine, the extra salt or the dissolved salts, they are removed, and the pressure is applied on the solution side. We can uh, represent graphically in the following manner. So see, if it is here, there is a vessel, and here we have this is the tap from which we take the water. Now here there is the membrane. This is the RO membrane, and technically it is SPM. Now here water is draw here. The saline water or normal water comes from this side, and here there is the mechanical pressure. Mechanical pressure is there. So on applying mechanical pressure, water comes here. So on applying mechanical pressure on this side, what happens? Due to high pressure, the water, pure water, on this side there is the pure water. So pure water or water containing the permissible salt, it is allowed to be collected here, and so we can take here. So this is the simple application of RO plant. Now second plant in animal body. So children, in animal body there are many applications. So first I am going to explain edema. Edema is a condition of the body for the persons who have heavy intake of salt. So there is the swelling of the body part. So swelling in the body parts due to excess intake of salt. So this is the case. The persons who are having high blood pressure, or the person who are having this hypertension, naturally their body is mostly fatty, and it is due to the intake of extra salt. So physicians advise to the persons to have this controlled salt intake. Salt is important, no doubt. Salt is important. The vital factor salt, it is responsible for the blood pressure, but its extra amount will be accumulated, and as a result, the person feels thirsty. Why? Because the body wants to maintain the constant composition, constant, a trait of water molecule, and if it is not there, so our body accumulates the water. Actually, salt is responsible for the intake of water. Now second is in hydration of body due to loss of fluid. So you might be knowing, due to diarrhea, due to vomiting, the persons, or even in case of acute weakness, the persons become very weak, and physicians, they provide the drip, or drip is being administered to the persons. Why it is so? Because body, all the cells, our body fluid requires a particular concentration of the water. And so this is for the normal functioning of water. And our body requires 0.9% NaCl. 0.9% NaCl our body requires, and it is given to unhealthy people. And this 0.9% NaCl, it is called as isotonic. It is called as isotonic solution. Iso means same, tonic means the solution having same osmotic pressure. It is called as isotonic solution. So this is one point. Now so see, first it is isotonic solution. So it is the called as normal solution. It is called as normal saline. And you might be knowing on the saline water bottle, which is administered to the persons, it is written as NS. NS. It is written as normal saline solution. DS, dextrose saline solution, depending on the type of the requirement of the person. Now, second is, if the solution is having a strength less than 0.9%, it is called as hypotonic. Less than 0.9% solution. We drink water, and water contains very little amount of salt, and so it is beneficial for us because our body does not accumulate it, and so it is required for the different metabolic activity. So if the solution has 0.9%, it is hypotonic. Now third is, if the solution has strength more than 0.9%, it is called as hypertonic. It is called as hypertonic. And see, you might be knowing, when we go for swimming in sea, what happens? Our body, becomes, slightly, skin becomes somewhat, shrinky. It becomes, this, just like the uneven surfaces. It becomes, loose. The skin becomes loose due to intake of water by the sea water. In the sea, water has very high concentration, and so in sea water, so it is based on this. In sea water, salt is in more amount, and on taking bath, the skin shrinks. The skin shrinks, and so this is there. So this is the animal body human. Similarly, it can be in case of RBC. Now, fourth point, in diagnostic purposes, the pathologists, they put the RBCs in a strong solution, distilled water, and so RBC breaks. So if we draw here, and if there is the RBC, and here there is the distilled water. So what happens? Water penetrates inside, and as a result, the RBC is ruptured without any problem, and so the persons can perform different tests. So this is the one point in the this animal body and human. Similarly, children, in case of animals also, other animals, cow, buffalo, they also require some this saline solution when they are very sick, and it is administered by the physicians or the doctors of the animals or animal husbandry department. So it is also given to. So that's why I have written animal body and the human. So this is common point. Now, children, third part is in very important part in preservation of fruits and vegetables. In preservation of fruits and vegetables. We have on our home different type of food materials like pickles. For example, pickles, jam, jellies, fruit candy or candied fruit. Then we have the frozen or canned fruits, vegetables, all we see. And very simple children point. Even sweets, rather we can have the canned sweets. Canned means which are stored in cans in a strong solution of any suitable solute. Like, for example, take the case of sweets, the gulab jamun, rasgullas. They are available in canned form by special process. And how the companies they preserve them? Actually, very strong solution, a strong sugar solution. A strong sugar solution, it is hypertonic to all the pathogens, like bacteria, fungi, etc. Pathogens which are responsible for spoiling the different edibles. So the companies either they are having this canned sweets or the fruit candy or all the fruits, vegetables, pickles, all. So they are based on this. So a strong sugar solution in case of sweet. Now in case of pickles, you all must be knowing. Pickles have excess of salt. You all know. And the persons who are suffering from the high blood pressure or edema, swelling in body parts, physicians say don't use pickles. So pickles, rather some vegetables, frozen vegetables also, or vegetables which are stored like mushrooms or some this other vegetables. They are like peas. They are available in bottles. They are not frozen, so they are kept in saline water. Pickles, peas, then mushrooms which are canned, which are canned are stored in a strong salt solution. There is a strong salt solution, and so when salt solution is strong, so there is no chance of infection or any infestation from the pathogen. Now, other points, children, in case of jams, jelly, candied fruits, like we saw murabba. You all must know murabba. So how murabba is made? Murabba is made simply by preserving the fruits like amla, bale, different, all the fruits they are available in this form. So they have excess of sugar. Excess of sugar is present An excess of sugar prevents the growth of pathogens. Pathogens means bacteria or different organisms, fungi. So if by chance, the question is how the strong solution of sugar or how the strong solution of salt is able to prevent the spoilage. Very simple. If by chance any bacteria or any virus it comes in contact or it is over the surface, what happens? Due to high concentration of salt, high concentration of sugar, the water present in their body fluid of viruses, fungi, etc., they are taken by the salt or the sugar, and so they die. So simple, this is very simple fundamental that due to strong solution of sugar, in case of this, as they are hypertonic, you almost know excess amount of salt is present, excess amount of sugar is present. Pineapples, cherries, different fruits, pears, peaches, they are present, they are available in market, in canned. And so this is the very simple point. So this is about the preservation of fruits and vegetables. Now next, children, is in plants. In plants, you all must be knowing from the small classes. In plants, the rise of water and the different nutrients like vitamins, minerals for the plants, they rise from the roots to different parts of body by what? By osmosis. So in the earth, in the soil, or even in case of the flower pot also, we use manures, use fertilizers. So what happens? Around the roots, the concentration of the nutrients is very high, and as a result, inside the plant it is less, and so due to osmosis. So due to osmosis, nutrients passes to the roots and then to different parts of plant body. So this is there in plants. Then we have the in preservation of flowers, fruits, vegetables. In preservation of flowers, fruits, vegetables, you all have experience. You all must be knowing to, flower vendors or the persons who are involved in the selling of flowers. You might have seen they keep flowers in water bucket. So they keep. Suppose we have this type of bucket, and so if there is the water inside, and if the flowers are present here, what happens? Flowers are present, and so the water is what? Water is hypotonic in nature. Water is hypotonic in nature means it has low concentration of electrolyte, and so if any wilting takes place, or lumping of the leaves takes place, flowers takes place. So as it is kept in water, so water is absorbed because the plant, they are fresh. So the retained, the plant's body is able to absorb water as is hypotonic in nature. And in case of the flowers, fruits, vegetables, you all know the persons who are selling vegetables or flowers. In case of summer, they keep, the gunny clothes, and they keep on sprinkling water. Why? To prevent the loss of moisture and to prevent the spoilage. So this is there. So fruits, flowers, vegetables, they are maintained as it is by sprinkling water, and water prevents the spoilage. Now, next, children, it is in soaking of dry grains, pulses, different vegetables. The dry vegetables, dry grains, cereals, pulses, you all know. In your family, they are, before cooking, they are soaked into water. Suppose we use the gram or black gram or any, cereal. It is soaked in water and they absorb water and they, become fresh. And so it is also based on osmosis. And why? Because inside the grains, inside the cereals, inside the pulses, the water is in very, minimum quantity, but the concentration of the electrolyte is very high, and as a result, they become fleshy, they become fresh for our use. Then, in industries, so children, industries also utilizes a lot of these applications of osmosis, like in the this purification of medicines, drugs, dyes. So all medicines, dyes, then tanning, dyeing, processing of leather, dyeing of fabrics, etc. So they all require this principle of osmosis, and so this is some very important point about the applications of osmosis and reverse osmosis.